garter snakes are the largest species of garter snake in North America. They are a federally threatened species, and that is mainly due to habitat loss. They've lost about 90% of their native wetland habitat due to land conversion and other urbanization. They've been able to survive in the Sacramento Valley because a lot of the agriculture here is rice agriculture, and that rice agriculture requires water, which is one of the most important things for giant garter snakes because they are semi-aquatic. And so rice agriculture, when they begin to flood the fields in the spring and summer, lines up pretty much perfectly for the active season of giant garter snakes. So they've become known as a rice-reliant species. Rice agriculture really helps fill in the gaps of where they were able to persist historically. We're out here monitoring giant garter snake populations. The drought has heavily affected everything in California, and so we want to see both where giant garter snakes are and how many there are throughout the valley. We're doing that by trapping. Throughout the Central Valley, we have about 1,500 traps that we put out. They're checked every single day, 7 days a week.
And what we do when we capture them is mark recapture population research on them. So what we're going to do is we're going to put markings on their scales to give them a specific number code. And we're also going to insert a subcutaneous pit tag. It's a microchip. So by marking them, letting them back into the wild, and then recapturing, we can get an idea of what size the population is of giant garter snakes at that field site.
Wildlife refuges and the ag land that surrounds them really act in tandem as habitat for giant garter snakes. It's really a win-win situation when the rice fields are able to surround wildlife refuges.
In fact, the recovery plan for the giant garter snake describes a need for flooded agriculture paired with wetlands and refuges in order to support giant garter snakes. And so there's a combination of both of those that are needed across the landscape to sustain enough giant garter snake populations to prevent their extinction.
Without rice as a habitat for giant garter snakes, they're going to be in much more trouble than they already are. We know that we need that rice for this species to be able to persist and hopefully eventually start to recover.